Really? My goodness, they got us Shatter the Sky off the top. That is brutal. Greetings, everyone. I am glad to be here, and I am glad that you are here. Today's jank is in Brawl, and we are playing some Yasharn Implacable Earth. For those of you who have not seen this card, it is a new card from Zendikar, whatever the heck this is, Rising or whatever. 4/4 for 4, Elementor Boar. Kind of nice alliteration there. When Yasharn enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic forest card and a basic plains card. Reveal those cards, put them into your hand, shuffle your library. Players can't pay life or sacrifice non-land permanents to cast spells or activate abilities. So this is +2 cards every time you cast it. They're just lands, and they only go to your hand, so they don't go to the, this is not Cultivate. One does not go to the battlefield and the other to your hand or whatever. This is just to your hand. But being able to make sure you hit your land drops is very, very powerful if your deck is built prepared for it. One of the key things that is easy to overlook when the deck building process is when you're hitting your land drops. You're traditionally going to try and keep a 3-lander, right? That's the ideal number normally. So you look at your hand, you keep 3. About 1 in every 3, a little more than that, but about 1 in every 3 cards is going to be a land. So you have 3. You are likely to draw a 4th within the first 3 turns, right? And then within the next 3 turns after that, you are likely to draw a 5th. And then within the next 3 turns after that, you are likely to draw a 6th. Now, if you can play with the number of lands and make it so you draw fewer or more lands, and, that's one of the wonderful things about the mana system in general, but you play with those numbers. Yasharn, folks, means as long as you come up with 4 lands, you will have 6 mana. So, you're also guaranteed to hit your 5-drop on 5, right? Very powerful. So, we are trying to play a lot of really powerful, bigger things. Specifically, a couple of 6s like Kogla and the Great Henge, depending on how large a creature we have coming down. But the meat of our stuff is going to be on 5, the turn right after we cast Yasharn. We're going to be casting Elder Gargaroths, ideally, Vivien's regularly, hopefully. Ashaya's, mutating some Auspicious Starrix. This is technically a 6-drop, but you know what I mean. Elspeth Conquers Death, and Baneslayer Angel, all perfectly reasonable threats to come down immediately following our 4/4 for 4. So, I'm kind of excited about it. There's a lot of just, making sure we hit our land drop stuff in here. I'm not sure, considering we are always going to have land drops with Yasharn. We'll see. We might not even quite need this many, but I think it's fine to have for now. I'm really excited about the deck because I love Selesnya, but I also really like Yasharn. I think it's an underrated card for sure. So without further ado, folks, let's go play some games. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are up against Jailhouse playing Ashaya Soul of the Wild. And yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to hang on to this. It seems good enough. No, I don't think it's amazing or anything, but I do think it's good. So let's just go ahead, hold off, and plan on Once Upon a Timing this upcoming turn. Jailhouse starts on a forest and their own Once Upon a Time. Fair enough. It's a forest. Fair enough. Then let's take our draw for the turn. It's a plains. Fair enough. Now we will Once Upon a Time and get... Alright, I guess just Nylea is fine. and get down a Tangled Florahedron here. I think advancing our mana is going to be very important, considering our opponent, once they hit the 5 mana ballpark, they are going to be doing really powerful things, and we don't have a whole lot of interaction, all things considered. So, okay, let's go ahead and just fire off our Yasharn, I think. Go ahead, grab our lands. This makes sure we hit all of our land drops, but it also advances the board with a clock, right? Our opponent going to have to do something, lest they start getting beat down. Well, that something is apparently Scavenging Ooze. All right. Let's go ahead and go to combat, I guess, and get in with Yasharn. And then, folks, I think we're just going to Beanstalk Giant. And boy, that's unfortunate. I really wanted to get a plains here, but I did not bother to check how the client was auto-tapping for me. That auto-tapper will get you, folks. That auto-tapper will get you. All right. Thorn Mammoth coming on down, sure. Opponent just making land drops. Goes with Yorvo, Lord of Garenbrig. And fights with Primal Might. Indeed. Fair enough. All right. Unfortunate, but acceptable. Interesting. Yeah, I think we're still just going to mutate here onto Tangled Florahedron, because we get a card. It's a Skyclave Apparition. That could not have gone better, I think. And we get in for 10. Suddenly, our opponent doesn't have forever, right? And this Baneslayer in the air could pose problems. Yeah, opponent coming down with Ashaya. Not surprising. Let's see. Yeah, let's do... Nope. Let's do this, shall we? And Baneslayer Angel, come on down. We do not want to lose our Baneslayer Angel, for the record. So if our opponent fights it, we're going to be quite sad. But it is what it is. I think the game may be riding on Baneslayer Angel's shoulders, and Ashaya is a very, very threatening block. Our opponent does have 25.5 million mana over there. Arasta, the Endless Web. Oh, boy. All right, sure. Yeah, opponent doing the thing. I would not describe any of this as extraordinary. Well, folks, how about we just do it all? Yep. Baneslayer coming in. Opponent drops to 7. All right. Next turn, we have a lot of potential attackers, and our opponent knows that. They've got to advance the board. What? Does this mean they die? Because they can block our 3 biggest things. 8, 6, and 6. They still take, yeah, that was not quite what we were expecting out of our opponent. GG, Jailhouse, GG. Good game indeed. So yeah, by the way, for the math's sake, right? They would block, even without a land drop, we would attack with a 8, 6, and 6. Then our Luminarch Aspirant gets to make somebody else bigger, so call it a 2-2. That's 4 and 6 is, yeah, that's so much damage that would just go unblocked. So yeah, indeed, good game. All right, folks, here we are on the play, and yeah, this hand is not honestly fantastic, but we are going to keep it. I think it is good enough. This is technically a 3-lander. You know, we have things to do as long as we draw white. If we draw any land at all, we can at least cast Yasharn and then do other things, you know. So I think this hand is perfectly functional, and more importantly, we do have the Great Henge, and many times, if we're in an attrition-based matchup like Ashaya or something, the Great Henge is just going to be absolutely pivotal to trying to value your opponent out. Drawing those extra cards can just be game-breaking, but having no ability to gain card advantage can also be game-breaking, right? So, hey, look at there. That's a good one. Yeah, Skyclave Apparition, going to get rid of that there, fella. Don't want to get milled out, folks. Don't want to get milled out. And fortunately, this means it's gone for good. Even if they kill our Skyclave Apparition, Ruin Crab doesn't come back. They just get a 1-1, right? So, very good. Very good. Let's get in for 2. I think we are going to go ahead and cast our Yasharn. We could cast, of course, Gem Razor, or I guess technically we could cast Shadow the Sky, but I don't think that's a good idea either. Our opponent could have a counterspell. Okay, but they don't. But that wouldn't be the end of the world. I mean, yeah. We're still going to take these out of our deck. Yes, that does mean we have to discard, but I would just rather not have to draw them forever, considering we know we have 7 land drops already. You know, we're already at a point in the game where we don't need a million more land drops. So I think this is just fine. Oh, boy. Ha. Yes. Yes, please. All right, so let's get a kitten. And no, let's actually not draw them a card. I think we want to wait on that. Because next turn, we know we're getting another land drop or 2, depending on what we draw off the top of our library. So we could cast Yasharn pre-land drop, and then make a land drop, put counters on everything, and not even have to trade the Skyclave Apparition at that point. Okay, Ashaya going to bounce our Felidar Retreat? No, just make a blocker. This is reasonable. Sure. All right. Well, Yasharn, Implacable Earth. Come on down. Yep, grab these here forests and plains out of the deck. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead, make a land drop, put counters on, give everybody vigilance, keep an Ashaya. Yes, please. Yes, please. We will be going at Ashaya. Our opponent very likely to at least chump with the 2-3. And drawing a card with Solemn, typically pretty good as well. The question is whether or not they want a team block to kill something like this. Yeah, exactly. And we're going to kill the Apparition rather than the Solemn Simulacrum. We don't want them drawing a card. And, you know, it's just not that big of a deal. I'm sure they really are pretty excited about getting rid of our Ashaya, but to be flatly honest, it wasn't that exciting. It was just action, right? And action is very good. We are pleased about action. All our fears are given form. Not cool, man. I mean, sure. I would prefer my fears to not have form. I mean, who likes paperwork anyway? All right. Opponent. Not sure what's going on here. Maybe just some kind of E to extinction. Okay. I don't know why they didn't do that pre-combat then. Unless maybe they were just hoping to draw the card with Solemn Simulacrum. I guess I could see that. Alright, so let's Shadow Sky, I guess. Yeah. Opponent gonna draw a card. Sure, this is fine. So let's make a kitten. Go and find a land drop. Let's see, what do we have more of? 5 and 4. So yeah, let's make it a forest. How about we make another kitten? Kittens are good, ladies and gentlemen. Next, or new, more news at 11, right? We love kittens. All right. Witch's Vengeance? Ugh, come on. Naming cat. Naming beast. Wait, what? I thought those were cats. Aren't they cats? It is. Oh, it's cat beast. All right, fine. Well, whatever then, I guess. All right, well, Yasharn, come on down. Yeah, let's get some more of them there land drops, shall we? And yeah, make another kitten. And we are going to cast the Great Henge. Do you have a negate? They do. Darn it, folks, we really wanted this one. Though admittedly, just being able to cast Yasharn over and over and over and over and get millions of land drops has been fantastic. Because, of course, these Felidar retreats, right? They're, you know, very strong. Though, admittedly, this is getting old. Not gonna lie. Our opponent not accomplishing much over there, but what they are accomplishing is very annoying. All right. So let's... It is May, right? And opponent controls. Okay. All right. So let's Auspicious Starrix. Over. Yes, please. It's a land. We're going to make a kitten. Gain a life. Then we are going to Gem Razor. Under. All right. And we're actually just going to give counters this time. And counters this time as well, I think. Because the 8 power is relevant here. They can't even chump enough to stop Ashaya from taking damage. But if they don't chump at all, Ashaya is going to die. Right? So yeah. Alright, so yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Opponent blocks a good chunk of damage, no question. But Ashaya takes some beats, drops to 3. Opponent going to kill the Auspicious Starrix, almost certainly. It could be another bounce spell, I guess. I mean, we wouldn't be broken up about that, honestly. Being able to recast and remutate all these. That would be glorious. Though, admittedly, again, this is getting old, folks. This is getting old. The bouncing everything back to hand constantly thing. Yeah, I mean, send them all. Opponent, send them all. Reach is a heck of a drug. Oh, wow. No, they're doing it. Sure. All right. Zareth-san. Oh my gosh, they're gonna get a Great Henge. Oh, they cast it. Oh, opponent. I am so sorry. Oh, folks, that is so brutal. Okay, so for those that missed it, Zareth-san is a 5-mana 4/4 flash. You can pay for, return an unblocked attacking rogue you control to its owner's hand. Put Zareth-san Trickster from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. This is not a rogue, folks. This is a fairy. This does not get picked up. So I assumed when they were performing this action that this is a fairy rogue. It even looks kind of like a fairy rogue, but it's not a fairy rogue. So they just hard cast Zareth-san at instant speed, but it's not dealing damage to us. So they were going to be able to get a Great Henge, which, in fairness, they kind of needed something important here to get back in the game. That's not it. And Death Chanter, recognizing that after that, there is no coming back, they scoop up their cards. So GG, Death Chanter, GG. All right, folks, we are back, and Trapper is our opponent. We're on the play. We like the hand. We need one land drop. Either a forest or a plains is fine. We're going to keep it. This could be a disaster, but this is exactly the kind of hand we want. So we just need to have our deck cooperate a little bit. Yeah, all right. Plains. So the idea is now we make our land drop up to 3. We cast Beanstalk Giant up to 4. We cast Yasharn up to even more, right? And everything is honky-dory. Well, darn it, no. We actually should have Skyclave Apparition there, but this was... yeah, this is a mistake. I was so set in my pattern of this is exactly what we're going to do. I did not deviate with the new information. I think it's okay because now we're just going to Realm-Cloaked Giant next turn because they've advanced the board so heartily. My goodness, they got us Shatter the Sky off the top. That is brutal. We were definitely looking forward to being able to have 2 different board wipes in case our opponent got really aggressive. But it is what it is. We do our thing. Sure. Akiri, come on down. We're just going to match that with our own Elder Gargaroth and a land drop. Going to scry away. No, going to keep a Banishing Light. I was going to say we're going to scry away any lands or anything we see, but nope. That's a good one. Some amount of interaction here is good, considering I think we're in relatively good shape. You know what? No. We're just going to take our beat. This is fine. It's looking like they have the protection spell or something for Akiri. So we're just not going to give them the opportunity to do that. Skyclave Apparition going to come down and check for that thing. All right, so there is no hexproof or anything like that, but all right, going back to the command zone, not a surprise. Yeah, let's draw a card. It's a land drop. Opponent takes 6. We're going to advance the board with Garrick's Harbinger. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and make the land drop, I guess. Continuing to advance our board here. We're going to be able to start slamming really big fellas here pretty soon. But the more important thing for us is that our opponent has to tap out to get a Curie here. Going to, oh my goodness, and equip. So that means they still don't have any protection whatsoever. So we're going to Banishing Light the Akiri. And yeah, exactly. You know, we just we got too far out ahead of our opponent. They were about to take 12 here, down to 7, and we get to look at the top 4 cards of our library, reveal a creature or planeswalker. And then, yeah, that was going to be a bad deal for our opponent, for sure. So, that said, good game, Trapper. It was not necessarily your fault. We just, we got out to a really good tempo lead. And, man, cast cards in our hand. Turns out that's a good thing to do. GG. Welcome back, folks. I am so glad we got an opportunity to play this Yasharn. It was so much fun. This was a blast, folks. I'm not gonna lie, it overperformed for my expectations. We won all of our games. We had one situation where our opponent kind of punted a little bit, but in fairness, I don't think that was what cost them the game. I think we were in a winning position there, and our opponent had to have a last-ditch effort to come through. And it just so happened that the last-ditch effort didn't work the way they thought it would, and so it was that. But on the whole, the deck played great. Admittedly, one of our concerns was we might not need as many land drops, and it's possible that did happen, right? We had the Tangleflorahedrons and the Cultivates and, like, Thorn Mammoths and Lotus Cobras and stuff, and regularly, some of them were, like, a little superfluous, right? So, I don't know. It's quite possible that we could maybe shave some of these things, since we already have Yasharn to make sure we're hitting our land drops, and maybe get a few more threats in here. I'm not sure. It would be worth exploring. Definitely let me know in the comments below. One of the other synergies I was excited about, I'm not sure if I talked about it in the deck tech originally, was Seasoned Hollowblade. Discard a card, tap Seasoned Hollowblade, it gains Indestructible. Well, with Yasharn, we've always got lands in our hand, or will regularly. It just turned out we never had this come up, right? So I don't know if this actually panned out or not. If we do cut some of our, like, cultivate style effects and everything, maybe we'll have less cards in our hands, so maybe this would be less good then. But for now, I can't see making too many changes. The deck was great, honestly. It really performed really well. If we were going to cut, let's say maybe just a cultivate and maybe the Lotus Cobra because they felt a little superfluous, we might add maybe some more 6s. I did feel like maybe there was a time or two where hammering home a 6 would have been good, but I think that's kind of nitpicky because, darn it, it played really well. So I don't have any complaints. Definitely let me know down in the comments below how you feel about it. When you were watching the games, did you feel like there were glaring holes in the deck that could be easily filled? I'm going to be playing this deck tonight on stream, so darn it, if there were, I want to know, right? I want to not get blown out game after game or whatever. So definitely let me know down there as well. Notably, folks, I mention it, but I have a stream, right? I stream on Twitch 5 nights a week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm streaming 4 hours a night on Twitch. That's like 20 hours of Magic, folks. And you can come and be a part of the community. Honestly, the Magic community as a whole is pretty great. But the group of folks we have that hang out in the chat on a daily basis are so friendly and so helpful, particularly if you're newer to the game. The stream is very, very new player friendly. And you won't see anybody looking down on you or anything over there. And we play a lot of jank on the stream, as I'm sure my YouTube videos might attest. So if you're the type of player who just likes playing your own thing and having a good time for fun, I think you really might enjoy the place. So come on out and see us. We'd love to have you. Other than that, just, liking and sharing and stuff. You can tell we're kind of a smaller streamer, so any and all that kind of help really helps the YouTube channel get off the ground. I really appreciate all you folks that are here on a daily basis, watching the videos and helping out. You guys are great. I really appreciate it. So either way, I'll catch you next time.